Tennessee versus NC State. One of the better games of the weekend. This is the night game, premier flagship game on Saturday night. It's SEC versus the ACC, so this game is going to be a lot of fun. I think both programs are at like the top of the middle tier in their conferences, like, in the 4 to 6 range in terms of how they rank in their conferences. Maybe even a little bit higher, I think, maybe for both of them. So this will be a really, really great test between out of conference games and with Tennessee and NC State. So let's break it down a little bit, and we're going to start with Tennessee since they're going to be, technically the road team as the game is in Charlotte. I'm not sure how much that favors NC State, but we'll see. Obviously, Nico Iamaleava, everyone's been waiting for him. He showed up in the bowl game last year, had a breakout game versus in week one. And I think a lot of eyes will be on him now, and the rest of the country, the casuals, as we like to call them, will start to learn who Nico Iamaleava is. I think he's a top 5 quarterback in the country, and I think he's going to have a fantastic season. So him in this Heupel offense with all the weapons that he has around him, I think he's going to be great this whole year. But let's talk about him versus NC State. So NC State, they did not look all that great defensively. Against Western Carolina, they struggled. It was a close game for a while. But I do think Tony Gibson will scheme something up for Tennessee. He's a great defensive coordinator. Has been with NC State for a while, and they always have a really good defense. So I'm confident that they'll scoop something up for Tennessee to keep them on edge. But I don't know if they have the athletes that they normally have. Obviously, they lost Peyton Wilson from last year, who was an absolute beast and was just all over the field. And you can tell in this Western Carolina game that they were struggling a little bit. I think they gave up like over 300 yards to 350 yards to Western Carolina. So, was not a great, performance defensively for NC State. So I think Tennessee could really take advantage of that. If Tennessee can get the run game going with Dylan Sampson, I don't think NC State really has a shot here because I'm not sure that they can keep up with Tennessee offensively. And if you really have this running threat with Dylan Sampson for Tennessee, and you're able to open up Brew McCoy, Squirrel White, Deontay Thornton, Chris Brazzell, that's a really hard offense to be able to corral. And Tennessee likes to move quickly, so they can put up a lot of points. And if you're in a catch-up game with them, it's going to be hard to do so. Now, on the flip side, NC State does have an offense that's really solid. So, like, Kevin Concepcion is probably, if not, maybe the best receiver in the ACC, if not one of the best. And they're going to look to really try to get him open. And you know what? They can, because they have other threats, not massive threats like I think Tennessee does, but they have Wesley Grimes, they have Noah Rogers, so they can spread out the field a little bit and try to scheme Kevin Concepcion open a little bit. Tennessee's secondary is maybe one of their weaker points on their defense. I think they could be exposed, but I do think overall that they're improved from last year as a total in defenses and in the secondary. But I do think that there are still some questions. So if we can get Grayson McCall to get back to his Coastal Carolina self back in 2021 and 2022, where he was just slinging the ball for half a mile, I think that they can try to put up some points against Tennessee. But ultimately, I think Tennessee is going to move too fast for NC State, and I think that I think they have an opportunity to really just put a stamp on who they are in the SEC with a big blowout win. So the line right now is Tennessee -8. I'm taking Tennessee -8. I actually think that this game, I don't think this game will be very close. Follow Big Body Ball CFB on all socials.